In the heart of Aleppo, Syria, there was a mansion known as Beit al-Aswad, the Black House. The house had stood for centuries, but it was abandoned for decades. People in the city whispered stories of its dark history, tales of mysterious disappearances, and eerie noises that echoed from its walls at night. A young journalist named Sammy was determined to uncover the truth behind the mansion's dark reputation. He had heard the rumors about strange whispers, flickering lights, and the shadows that seemed to move on their own. Sammy, intrigued and fearless, decided to explore the house. One night, armed with a flashlight and his camera, Sammy entered the mansion. The moment he crossed the threshold, the air grew cold. The house smelled of mildew and old wood, yet there was something unnatural in the atmosphere, a heavy silence that pressed against his chest. As he moved through the dark corridors, the walls seemed to groan, as if the house itself was alive. Sammy thought it was the wind, but the more he walked, the clearer it became that the sounds were coming from within the walls themselves. Faint whispers, just beyond the edge of hearing, seemed to call his name. Sammy, come closer. Shivering, he reached for the staircase that led to the second floor. His heart raced, but his curiosity pushed him onward. The moment he stepped onto the upper landing, the whispers grew louder, more urgent. Leave this place, the voices hissed, now a chorus of many. You are not welcome here. Sammy froze. The flashlight flickered in his hand, casting long shadows on the walls. The house seemed to pulse with a life of its own. As he turned to leave, the door he had entered through slammed shut with a deafening bang. The whispers intensified, now turning into growls. The walls seemed to shift, warping and twisting as if they were trying to swallow him whole. Panic surged through Sammy's veins. He rushed to the windows, but they were sealed shut, the glass seemingly glued to the frames. Suddenly, he felt a cold breath on the back of his neck. Slowly, he turned to face the dark corner of the room. There, standing in the shadows, was a figure, a woman dressed in black, her eyes hollow, her face a blur of sorrow and rage. She reached out toward him with long, skeletal fingers. Why did you come? She whispered, her voice no longer faint, but echoing in his ears. Sammy's body froze, paralyzed by terror. The woman moved closer, her feet not touching the ground. Her voice grew louder, leave, or join us, forever. Before he could respond, the walls seemed to close in, and the air became suffocating. The last thing Sammy remembered was a sharp pain in his chest, as if the house was consuming him. The next morning, the mansion was silent again. No one dared enter Beit al-Aswad after that night. And Sammy? His camera was found outside the mansion, still recording. When the footage was reviewed, all that could be seen were flickering shadows, whispers in the dark, and, just before the camera went black, a glimpse of Sammy's terrified face as he was pulled into the walls. No one in Aleppo ever spoke of Beit al-Aswad again, but sometimes, late at night, when the wind howls just right, people still hear the faintest whisper, Sammy, come closer.